Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Good morning. This is Bonnie Mathias, and this is the Workers' Beat. Gene will be here in just a few minutes. He is conducting an interview with Reverend Barnett, which is very interesting. Reverend Barnett's a pretty important person around not just KNON, but in Dallas itself. He's an awesome community guy. Today, first thing I want to bring up is ADT and our struggles, our union struggles, CWA union struggles. I hope you guys are listening. I hope one of you guys will call in, one all. I'm very proud of our union guys at ADT. They've really stepped up to the plate. 972-647-1893. That is the number here in the studio. We're going to court on Thursday. Looks like the union and ADT. We will be in National Labor Relations Board court on Thursday. So I know Ken, the Ken Bramlett and Ken Stevens. I know that they are ready to hit the dusty trail as it is, or hit the hard-won trail. You know, we've worked really hard to make the union a stronger force, not just at ADT, but at AT&T and YP and Avaya. It's important that we work together to save union jobs and to grow the union, because that's what brings everybody up. Everybody. And it's not about privatization. This is not about politics or where you go to church. This is about you and your job. Our Walmart, perfect example. Organization United for Respect at Walmart. Man, those guys are awesome. They have worked so hard. Colby Harris, he's been on this show a couple times. He's an awesome young man. Cooper Caraway works with them as well. Our AFL CIO youth coordinator. You know, our future is in the young workers. Us folks that've been around for a while, we're not going to be here in 25 years. I'd like to think I would be, but I'm not seeing 100. But maybe. Anyway, 972-647-1893. That is the number here in the studio. ADT, the alarm company, it is a union company, so I hope if you're considering purchasing alarm equipment that you'll look that direction, because we do want to give our brothers and sisters in the labor movement a hand up. And it's important that we work together to do exactly that. I hadn't had enough coffee or something this morning. My tongue is kind of retarded. Oh, that's a bad word. Sorry. Okay. There's something that's really kind of stuck in my craw. That is this DISD home rule situation that is being touted as the latest and greatest thing for DISD. Tell me what you think about it. 972-647-1893. Now you might say, well, this really isn't about working families. Oh, yes, it is. Where do your kids go to school? Where do 90% of your kids go to school? They go to a public school. What this home rule essentially does is privatizes our public school system. That's not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. I don't know who John Arnold is, the big billionaire from Houston, who is a Hillcrest alum. I don't know why he thinks this is a good idea. He has quite a few people around with him, but they're all secret. They're all secret. So tell me again how this is good. If you're already hiding who's behind it, how is this a good thing? If you don't see transparency, how can this be a good thing? Who's behind this? Because quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, my personal opinion, this has Koch brothers written all over it. All over it. And these guys are bad news. You don't believe it? Take a look at some of the stuff that's come out of the CPAC meeting this week. It is nothing more than supporting the Koch brothers' agenda across the country. Now, CPAC is the Conservative Political Action Committee. Chris Christie spoke and pretty much admitted that, why, yes, the Koch brothers, yes, they're funding this. That's right. Rick Perry stood up and talked about how awesome Texas is, how we don't have all those government regulations, we don't want the government's money, we don't want this, we don't want that, and, he's going to make another run for the White House. You out there think Texas is bad now? Oh, my God. It ain't going to be pretty. You get Greg Abbott in Austin and Rick Perry in Washington, D.C., we all need to look for someplace else to live. Because it's not going to be good. We already don't have access to health care. I heard all these political advertisements over the last couple of months. And they all talk about Texas is number one, and I'm going to fight Obama. And I'm going to fight Obama, and I'm going to fight Obama. That's all I heard. What are you going to do for the citizens and the taxpayers of Texas? Because fighting the President of the United States is not the answer. We have to work together. We can't keep fighting. You want to keep Texas number one. Number one in what? Because so far, we're number two in the lowest amount spent on education. We are number one in the percentage of uninsured in our state. So let's see what Tony says. Morning, Tony.
How you doing, Bonnie?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. That's one of the reasons why I called, because you were touching on CPAC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to vote for Winnie Davis.
Yes.
But the problem I have with her campaign is she's not focused on where she can really win. There are fracking issues in Republican districts and Republican-held strongholds that are noticed that the state is taking advantage of them when it comes to this fracking. And she's not speaking on that. And these people are really concerned about their property being misused and their water wells. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, it seems as though when you have these political consultants who talk to people like Wendy Davis, they give them all this analytical numbers, but at the end of the day, can she win? Right. And she can win because the numbers. See, what I try to get people that I know to understand is with the Hispanic and the services of the white vote and the black vote, Wendy can win.
That's right.
The problem is that if you don't carve a campaign that affects those three groups together, mm-hmm. you will lose to Republicans for the next 10 years. And so when you talk about CPAC, who have put these stand your ground laws into place, mm-hmm. who have made corporations into persons, and who have denigrated the workers of today, and they don't understand that the Gilded Age has came back in full force, and now they have the law on their side to dictate to labor workers like us and say, hey, we're gonna pay you $2. Right. We can pay you $10, but guess what? We're gonna tell you this: you know, you can pull up, you can do everything by yourself, you can work hard, and for the first time in a long time, and this is not a racial statement, but it might sound this way. Most white Americans have understand that they have not really progressed in years. Now they've been looking at race, but it's not about race. It's about class. It's always been about class. But race has hidden that, and for the first time they're saying, well, I don't know about my future. The problem is because you keep thinking that you do it by yourself. It takes a community to build anybody, not just white, black, or Puerto Rican. It takes a community. It takes people who you know and say and to encourage you and to motivate you. And money is part of that motivation. And so what has happened is, for the first time, middle-class people have figured out that, you know what, I haven't had a real wage increase since 1970. And I got these politicians who telling me this. They have corporations who pump money into certain talk shows who keep saying, hey, you know, it's their fault. It's all their fault. And I'll leave you with that, Bonnie.
You are so right. Boy, you're right on the money today. Let me tell you. That's you're right on. And you're right. I think Wendy Davis does need to address the fracking issue here in Texas. It's a scary thing. The XL pipeline is a scary thing. Those are environmentally hazardous projects. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. And if anybody has any doubt about fracking, I strongly recommend you see Gasland and Gasland 2. You should watch those two movies and realize fracking danger is real. It is real. And I don't know about you, I don't want one of those things in my backyard. That's just yuck. You're pumping gazillions of gallons, billions and billions of gallons of chemicals and water, precious water, into the ground to make natural gas come out. That water, we bring that water out and we put it in these ponds, and they're real safe, because we line those ponds with, the special stuff so the water can't get out. Anybody ever seen one of those coal sloughs where all the coal stuff goes? Kind of looks like tar sands. Yucky, yuck. Ever seen one of those that spring a leak? That's happened several times over just the last few months. Ohio, West Virginia had the chemical spill. We have to take care of what we have here. You can't live in your house. Let's use this. You can't live in your house and never do any repairs or upgrades or anything forever. So we can't live on this planet without doing repairs and upgrades and taking care of it instead of pumping crap into the earth. I got off topic big time. I don't know how that happened. Wow, I think Tony did that with the fracking thing. We were talking about, I'd like to talk about ADT if some of the ADT guys will call in. 972-647-1893. It's 972-647-1893. We were also talking about this home rule that somehow Mike Rollins has gotten sucked into this. So I'm not sure exactly where his head is. This support our public schools. They always come up with the best names. Support our public schools. And what they want to do is privatize our schools. There's nothing public about this. You got this John guy from Houston, John Arnold from Houston. He's a billionaire and a half dozen or so secret donors that want to take one of the largest school districts in the state and make it private. That's what they want. And kind of looks like they got the money to do it. But is that really what you want? 972-647-1893. What this home rule does, essentially, is gut our public school system and replace it with a bunch of rich white guys telling everybody else how to run the school. I'm sorry, that doesn't sound really good to me. That sounds really undemocratic. We have an elected board of trustees. And no, that may not be the best way to run this district. But I'm telling you, privatization is not the answer. Not the answer. 972-647-1893. Let's talk about one of those bad situations with privatization. When Rick Perry outsourced the state workers' jobs to call centers that belonged to one of his buddies. That was a disaster, an absolute disaster. They had to turn around, get all that information back from the private companies, take it back to the state workers, hire them back to get them to straighten out the mess that Rick Perry's buddy made when he turned over all that to his buddy in the private. Private is not good. Public is good. Private, not good. Neil's telling me we're going to take a break. I hear some music coming. All right, we'll be right back after this word. 972-647-1893. Call us. And then comes Saturday morning. Here we are. 972-647-1893. Surely not everybody out there must agree with me. I mean, that would be a first. 972-647-1893. Give me a call. Let's talk about what's going on at ADT. Good morning, ADT guys. Are you up yet? I know y'all are supposed to be listening because you've been asked multiple times this week to tune in. And I want to talk about the ISD. I want to talk about this home rule. It is absolutely crazy. We have Mike Rollins that's jumped on this bandwagon, which is kind of scary. I really like our mayor. I like him a lot. But I don't agree with him on this one. I truly do not agree with him on this one. Support our public schools is one of those things like right to work. You know, it sounds really good, but it's really bad. Right to work is where you're an at-will employee, and if there's a union available, you don't have to join. We have to represent you, but you don't have to join. Okay, I have Ron on line 3. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning. Hi. I'd like to make a couple of observations that I've been concerned about for quite some time. And they are, it makes absolutely no sense not to be able to mention God, Jesus, to post the Ten Commandments in schools. Which are basic rules of right and wrong. The Ten Commandments are good rules to live by, whatever your beliefs may be. It makes no sense whatsoever not to be able to mention God's name in school. And I do not believe our Father God is pleased with that. Since Madeline O'Hare succeeded in about 1982 in getting the idiotic, imbecilic Supreme Court ruling declaring what it declared, America has found itself in 2 wars at the same time. First time in history.
Yeah.
Our economy is going apart. Our reputation around the world is in jeopardy. Our kids have no morals. We got school shootings, gangs all over the place. And America, it's got problems it never seen before.
You're exactly right.
And because kids nowadays, you're not being able to post the Ten Commandments, it makes no sense. What's wrong with the 10 Commandments? Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, etc.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Well, I think the basic principles have been compromised. You know, like when you and I went to school, you kept your hands to yourself. You speak when spoken to. You know, it was really hard and fast rules that we probably grew up with. Whereas these kids nowadays, they don't have that upbringing like that. And unfortunately, it has spilled over into our school systems, and our school system, at least DISD, I'm very familiar with, has become a pipeline into prison for our children of all colors.
Well, they're not being taught the basic rules of right and wrong.
You're exactly right. And I don't think privatizing our schools is the answer.
Well, privatizing, whether they are public, private, or whatever, not to be able to mention God's name in school, it's crazy.
I agree, but unfortunately we have that law that we can't cross that line.
Well, ma'am,
this is Gene Lantz. I'm back on.
The Constitution has been misinterpreted. If it has not been, if the Constitution says what they say it says, well, then the Constitution needs to be amended.
All right.
Okay.
Make a very good point.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. I do have a couple more callers. I got Ken on line 2.
Bring it on. Morning, Ken.
Good morning.
Thanks for calling KNON.
Good morning. How you doing, Jim?
Hey.
Good.
And Bonnie, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you? What's going on?
Oh, I'm just getting my paperwork ready for Thursday morning.
All right. Yeah, we have. We'll be in Fort Worth on Thursday morning at the National Labor Relations Board for a hearing on the proposed petition that ADT is put out there to conduct a union election. I still think it's a little early, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am, I believe it is.
That's kind of what I thought.
Might as well go get it done.
Right. I mean, hell, we'll go into contract negotiations twice as strong. I'm good with that. How about you?
I am, yes. I just wanted to thank you, Bonnie, for everything that you do, because I know that a lot of people don't realize how much work you do behind the scenes. And my members are stepping up to the plate and saying thank you. Excellent. And
I thank them because I see them stepping up, which is
yes, they are.
That's phenomenal.
The thing that I appreciate about ADT. Now, I worked for ADT for many years, and then Mother Tyco split the company into two groups.
Right.
One's Tyco, one's ADT. But these are the finest group of technicians I've ever worked with. These people are dedicated. And it's not just a job to them.
Right.
But they are professionals.
Yep.
So then every so often we get a new group of managers, and they say, okay, we're going to do this and that. And the thing of it is, these guys are experienced. We've already been through the failures of this doesn't work and that doesn't work. Mm-hmm. But this does work. And we got good supervisors that try to make things work. And then we get a new group of management that says, okay, we're not going to do that now.
Right.
We're going to do this.
Yep.
Like, well, okay. It's like the schedule that they're working on right now. I was on that schedule in 2000. It didn't work.
Then.
It's not working now.
That's right.
But all of a sudden, this is a brand new idea.
Yeah.
We've come up with this brand new idea. Okay. Well, it's the same old idea that didn't work then, and that's not working now.
Exactly.
So,
Ken, thank you so much for calling in this morning. We got a whole bunch of folks holding, so.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Or Monday. Sorry.
Okay, let's bring Kit on then.
Kit,
She's on
line 4.
Good morning, Kit.
Good morning.
Thanks for calling KNON.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Just want to thank y'all for having me on. The reason I'm calling is as I'm representing for the Texas Move On conference that we're having. It's a week from today. It's going to be all day. It's going to be at the UAW 276 hall in the Grand Prairie.
That's a 2505 W.E. Roberts Street in Grand Prairie, right?
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be we're about every 30 minutes. We're going to have speakers all day long. The purpose of the conference really is to draw together Texas activists from all around the state on a variety of important topics, like everything that y'all are talking about this morning. And about every 30 minutes, we're going to be having a folks speaking. We've got the first section is going to be about environmental issues. We've got activists, experts on a number of topics like tar sands and renewable clean energy, fracking, water, and so forth. And then also we've got Marco Malagone from the North Texas Dream Team will be coming and talking about, of course, the need for comprehensive immigration reform. And
so you're going to pretty much cover all the progressive topics going on in Texas.
Absolutely.
And looking for people to get active in them, right?
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah, well, what we're trying to do is we're all out there. Everybody's got a piece of it here and there, but what we're trying to do is pull all of it together. Because, I mean, there's the TPP now that we're fighting tooth and nail.
Yes, I understand.
From, being fast-tracked into being. And really, to me, the TPP is like a big, giant, toxic umbrella that all of these various topics these issues come together under that one big old poisonous umbrella. And
well,
so,
tell us again about how people can find out about it and give out your phone number.
Okay, sure.
So that activists can come to your meeting next Saturday.
Absolutely. They can get registered at www.texasmoveonconference.com.
Okay.
And they can call me, 817-921-0433 or 817-881-6287. I'm one of several organizers, but they're welcome to call me.
Okay.
Excellent.
We can remind people next Saturday morning, too. But people will be till 10 o'clock, so we'll be late getting there.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much, Kit.
Thank you, Kit.
Can we move on to
Randy? Randy's
line
next.
Good morning, Randy. Thanks for calling Knon.
Good morning, you guys.
Hi.
What makes the public school successful?
The public.
The public,
parents.
right?
The parents.
Mainly who in the public makes the public school successful?
Parents.
Parents. Do you think the parents in the DISD district, which has over 160,000 students, have let their kids down?
I can tell you.
Do you think the parents have actually sold their kids out?
No, not all of them.
You know what? This is the reason why I think they have, with many excuses. I've got 2 jobs. I can't make it to the PTA meeting. I can't this. I can't that. But when the parent gets a call and says, "Hey, little Johnny's being bad at school," they come up there and swear up and down that little Johnny is an angel. The parents have sold out the kids. When you can't get 1%. You guys, I'm talking 1%. I've been to several DISD meetings over several issues in the past where they could get maybe 200 or 300 people out there. But when your school district can't even draw 1%, it almost makes me want to cry. 1%. 1,600 people could save this school district.
Well, Randy, though,
1%.
Randy, the problem is not the issue under discussion is not parental apathy. The issue under discussion is whether or not the school district should be taken over with the home rule.
The privatization.
How do you feel about that?
Gene, that's an easy answer.
Okay.
Of course it should not. Where are we at? If you have kids that are failing and dropping out at a tremendous rate, because why? The parents won't get up off their butt. You know, we can make reasons all day long. Mm-hmm. We can point the finger. We can find a person to point the finger at all the time. But you know what? We don't point it at ourselves. What are we supposed to do? Just keep letting our kids get stupid? Dropping out of school and stealing? The only way the school district is going to be saved if God intervenes almost now. I mean, how does 160,000 parents, I'm going to put it bluntly, not care?
Well, we'll have to go on that, Randy, and let somebody else talk.
We got Michael on line 3, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Bring him on.
Hi, Michael. Michael.
Good morning,
How y'all
Michael.
doing?
Good.
All right, Gene, you paying your taxes?
Yes.
All right. It'll be better if everybody pay their full share.
Well, yeah.
And, I mean, you know about that old home rule. I mean, to answer Randy's question, hell, most of those parents is kids, so, you know. But
right? Well, you got a really good point there, Michael. We do have a lot of very young parents.
I mean, I'm just waiting for more information to come out.
Yeah.
You know, because we can't blame the races of superintendents. It's been black superintendents. It's been white superintendents.
Oh, it doesn't have anything to do with you.
Superintendents.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing changed. So when Obama said change will come to America, it ain't the only thing that may need some changes. I'm waiting for some more information to come out on there. I mean, what is these people scared of? They scared that the home rule might work?
Well, my main problem with this, you got one rich billionaire from Houston and a handful of secret donors trying to do this.
They want to take over the school.
They want to take over the school system. They want to privatize our school system. That is not an option, in my opinion.
Okay.
Well, I'm just waiting for more information to come. I mean, you think that billionaire want more billions?
Yeah, I sure do. I don't think they ever have enough.
What he wants to do is change everything into a profit center.
We got Carla
better
on
go
line
on,
2.
though. Carla's on line 2. Thanks a lot, Michael. Go ahead, Carla. Thanks for calling KNON.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to point out something what is wrong with DSD.
Okay.
The reason why DSD is in the trouble it's in has to do with desegregation. The powers that be had never wanted to desegregate the school.
That's true.
When it was desegregated, the rich pulled their children out and put them in private schools.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same effect that happened in Detroit. When the rich flee and the poor is left behind, it collapses. And when people don't go to the PTA meetings, it's because they're working on jobs where they have to get up and work not one job but 2 jobs, and when they get home they're too tired and too unfocused to go to the PTA meetings. They
Carla,
don't have extra.
Do you think the home
money.
rule is going to help this whole thing?
No, I do not think so.
It's going to make it worse, isn't it?
It's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I want to point out, too, is the person that was talking about what happened to religion in school.
Yes, ma'am.
It is because public school is just that. It gives our children a chance to be around other people and other cultures. You have public schools where people are not only Christians, you have Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, and Jewish, and all other religions in between. So
that's a good thing.
You cannot stand there. That is a good thing. You cannot stand there and force your religion upon these other children. So you have to be reminded there is a such thing as Sunday school. If you want to teach your children those principles, you get up on a Sunday morning and you take your children to Sunday school. Just like these other people, they have Saturday schools and Sunday schools for their own religion. So that's what Christians need to remind themselves that that's upon them to do, not for the schools to teach them the religion.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it very much.
We appreciate that.
We're getting too close to break time to take Joshua's call.
Joshua and
hope
Jean,
you'll stay
if you'll hang on, we'll get to you as soon as we get back from break.
We're back on the Workers' Beat, and the line goes on and on. Joshua's on next, line 4. Thanks for calling, Joshua.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to address 2 statements that were made by recent callers. The first gentleman who said that the parents of DISD students are apathetic and don't care anything and have sold out their children. And the other is a gentleman who said that the schools, no matter who the superintendent has been, the schools have stayed the same in Dallas. I'm a teacher at elementary school in Oak Cliff, DISD, and my first meeting, the first parent-teacher conference I had as a new teacher, 22 of the parents of my 27 students came.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right? So I have absolutely found no evidence that parents do not care about what's happening to their children. In fact, anytime I call parents and ask for their help with discipline issues, with academic issues, they're very eager to participate.
Well,
so the gentleman who called in, I think, knows not about what he speaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other topic?
The other topic was the gentleman who said that no matter who the superintendent has been, things haven't changed in DISD. And I'm a new teacher. I've asked a lot of my colleagues what has happened, what it's been like in the last couple of years compared to maybe before that. And people who've been around for a long time, and I've got colleagues who have been there for 12, 13, 15, 17 years. They say the last 2 years have been the worst.
Oh, since the guy Mike Miles.
Since Mike Miles came in.
Uh-huh.
And that it's almost impossible to do teaching, that wages have been cut, that you're expected to do more and more work. So I think, according to what I've seen...
Now, that's more and more work and not teaching.
Right.
Right. Well, I mean, for everybody.
In other words, they want to teach, but what they don't want to do is sit and fill out forms all day.
No, and whether it's cafeteria or maintenance or teachers, it's the same thing. The expectations for the amount of work is going up and up and up, and people are less able to do what it is they need to do, whether that's preparing food or cleaning or providing education, teaching. So my experiences do not map onto what those folks have been talking about at all.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thanks for calling that up, Joshua.
Thank you very much. You too. Gene on line 1. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
This home rule thing is one of many things that have kind of oozed out of the bowels of the earth since at least 2010. One of the worst ones I've heard since that time. It's kind of reminding me, these crazy programs and these crazy statements by Tea Partiers and everything have this kind of reminding me of Berlin in 1933 when Hitler's brown shirts, not only were they elected to the government, but they put their fingers into everything cultural, everything educational, everything in people's lives. It's kind of like what these billionaires are wanting to do. It's as if making a profit is no longer that much fun. They want to claim to be educators now.
Yeah.
I think it's nuts.
It's
but
scary.
I'll tell you, yeah, and they want to destroy every minimum standards established by states when school districts were very viable. And one of the worst things that they have come up with, this home rule will destroy any regulations having to do with at least minimum salary standards for teachers. And once we start losing teachers, that will destroy school systems quicker than anything that has ever come up before.
And we've lost 600 teachers in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
600
Well,
good
they're going to
teachers.
hire people, they're going to call them teachers. They're going to hire them, we'll get them away from Walmart or something, pay them even less maybe, and call them teachers. Put them in front of the kids and say, fill out all these forms.
Yep.
And it's not only that. They're going to be dictating what the kids are being taught.
There you go.
That they've already tried, the State Board of Education a few years ago tried to eliminate Jefferson's name out of history.
Oh, and tried to
eliminate the word slavery and call it Atlantic Triangular Trade, if I remember right.
Oh, yeah, and they
As
also...
if it makes it nice or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like right to work, and the name of this, support our public schools.
Absolutely. Crazy.
Well, we
Craziness.
appreciate your opinion on
Thank
this.
you, Gene. Thank you so much.
Sure. Take care.
You too.
Let's go on to Sabrina.
Sabrina, line 5.
Thanks for waiting, Sabrina.
Line 3.
Then.
Yeah.
All right. Sabrina.
Love the show. I love you and Reverend Barnett's show. But my question is, if I'm right, with private schooling, parents have to pay for this, correct?
Yes.
So if that is the case and the DISD decides to turn the whole, system into a private school, would that mean the parents, if I'm correct, would have to pay for this?
No, at first they would still get state funding.
That's right.
It's just that the parents wouldn't have any say-so about what's going to take place.
Yeah. They would still get, like, charter schools. Charter schools, they get public funding.
Oh, okay.
But they get to pick their students.
And they also have all these. They also have all these flower funds and everything, so the parents can kick in money to, for example, to buy football uniforms or something like that. And so the richer schools get a whole lot better deal than the poorer schools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't have any children personally, but I was a part of DISD. I graduated from Carter. Okay. Now, with I understand where you're coming from, and I totally agree with what you're saying. That is not what we need. So, what is the next step? What can we do to put the word out there and give the public, the parents of the ISD or the guardians or whoever, simple facts of how this can in turn affect them and their children? If this, what can we do to put it out there? What is the next step?
We have got.
But what can we do now?
We seriously, we have got to keep talking at the top of our lungs. Write letters to the editor. Write op-eds. Start a blog. Put it on Facebook. Talk about it. Organize. We cannot. And I know Texas Organizing Project and the Coalition for Education, Not Incarceration, we are all over this. This is not the answer. And believe me, you will be hearing from Texas Organizing Project and the Coalition for Education, Not Incarceration over this issue.
Good deal.
Yeah, one last thing, and I'll go. What can I do? Where can I go to get more facts that I can put it out there? Because I definitely want to,
There's already been a meeting call, but I don't have the details on that.
Yeah,
the Dallas Teachers Union.
I know a lot of Dallas teachers, so I don't know.
Well, the Dallas Teachers Union, I understand, is not going to put up with this.
Right. So
I would stay in touch with them and stay in touch with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
My website is labordallas.org, and we're with Bonnie and I are both with the Dallas AFL-CIO, and their website is tx.aflcio.org/DallasCLC.
tx.aflcio.org/Dallas.
No, /DallasCLC.
Oh, Dallas CLC.
That stands for Central Labor Council.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll keep that updated as well as Gene keeps his site updated as well.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carla. Let's stay on this.
Rutherford on line 2.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I had some thoughts regarding, just one quick one. America is based on Christian principles.
Mm-hmm.
In God we trust is written on all of our money.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian principles, right and wrong, should be taught, regardless of what your racial background may be.
So you agree with the guy that called earlier?
Yes, regardless of what your racial background may be, your religious background may be, the Ten Commandments, most of our laws are based on the Ten Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
They are good principles to live by, regardless of what you believe or do not believe.
Okay, so you believe that the Christian religion should be taught in the schools. What do you think about the other religions? Should they be taught as well, or just Christian religion?
Well, if they are founded on basic right and wrong.
Well, I think most of them would claim that they are.
Yeah.
And I have another thought. The idea of privatizing schools, there are a lot of people who would like to take us back to segregated schools.
Oh, yeah.
Sure they would.
Yep.
Based on not only race, but class as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that they can go in and teach that Columbus discovered America. What Columbus discovered was there was a whole bunch of Indians over here when he got over here. Columbus did not discover America.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's a really good point.
Thank you, Rutherford. Appreciate your call this morning.
Let's try to get to Joe on line 4. Morning, Joe. Thanks for calling KNON.
Hey, Gene. How everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, last time I was with you guys, we was protesting those probation officers better wages down in Austin. I'm the guy that got on with you guys in Waxahachie. But at any route, I appreciate last Saturday you mentioned Alex coming to town. You can count me in. I'll be a part of that protest too. Yeah,
excellent.
We don't need any more Alex. We've had more than we could stand. So you can count me in on that.
That's the American Legislative Exchange Council having its convention here on July 30th. We're going to protest.
Hey, we'll be down there in numbers. On this school situation,
yes,
the charter schools, what have you, that's just a big mess. You can basically follow a dollar trail on anything. You can see where the bones are buried. That thing is about little minuscule control and controlling the dollar. There are a lot of contracts, big-time monetary contracts with these schools. And the status quo wants to control it. They want bigger control.
That's right.
And that's what a lot of that stuff is about. Don't be fooled for 1 minute that it's about better education. Wherever the child goes, dollars follow that child. And I really hate, I taught public schools for 3 years, and I had enough sense to get out of it.
God bless you.
Many moons ago. That was enough for me in the tank. But we do not, I hate to see people, and they try to do it all the time, compare charter school with public schools, because that is not the same animal.
That's right.
They pick their student. They can say this kid has a trouble record. We don't want him. This kid is too short or too tall or too fat or too skinny. He wouldn't be
or too dark.
Right, or too dark or too right. And so they tried to do that to put the public school down, and they also load them up with a lot of those old Teach for America teachers. So you break your continuity, because those teachers are coming into Dallas and Arkansas. They're from Connecticut, Massachusetts, whatever. They're trying to pay off school loans, or they want to experiment with minority students or what have you, and they are blocking people who have gone to school locally and need to get out there and get a job and work and pay off those school loans. It's horrendous what they're doing.
Yes.
You'll always have your private schools around. You have that choice, but they don't need to kill out, make the public schools worse at the expense of charter schools. That's horrendous. We don't need that.
All right.
Amen.
Thanks so much,
you,
Joe.
sir.
I want to get in a couple of announcements.
Yes.
First of all, International Women's Day is today.
Yay.
And the meeting starts at 1:30 at Bonnie's Union Hall, 1408 North Washington.
Come join us.
Today.
It's going to be great. Becky Muller's going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, Becky Muller, the president of the Texas AFL-CIO, will be there. If you haven't heard her speak, then you have not had a really good treat.
That's right.
Tonight, there's an evening with Carlos Arredondo, Saturday, March the 8th at 6 p.m. at the First Unitarian Church, 4015 Normandy in Dallas. And that's being put on by the Dallas Peace Center and some other organizations. Next Saturday, we had Kit call a while ago and tell us that next Saturday there will be a Texas Move On conference, a state conference, to be held at the UAW Hall. It's in Grand Prairie at 2505 W.E. Roberts Street, 75051. And that starts at 8 in the morning. It's going to go all day. So there's a lot of things going on. You can get connected to them. I think that the International Women's Day is especially important, don't you, Bonnie?
Yes, I think it's wonderful. You know, I was looking at one of my websites yesterday. It's called progressiverags.org or .com, and he's got some cool T-shirts for International Women's Day. And Women's Month, the whole month of March, is International Women's Month.
And women really make a difference in 2014. This is the year of the women. I don't know if you looked at the statistics in the primary election that we just had, and of course we still have some runoffs and there's some women running. But women incumbents challenged by males won outright. And the women who challenged males, in other words, where the male was the incumbent, the women still won.
We kicked booty.
And in some cases, these were perfectly good male candidates who had held office for some time. Women came on and ran right over them.
That's right.
And,
way to go, girls!
And the same thing is going on in the runoff. 2 women are in the runoff, and the 2 men in that race came in last. So the women going into the runoff, the women are ahead. And this is all through the elections here in Dallas. Now, I don't know what it was like in the rest of Texas.
Yeah,
but the women smashed the men in the election just passed. And I assume that they probably will in the runoff as well.
I'm thinking.
It's got something to do with Wendy Davis running for governor, Letitia Van Depute running for lieutenant governor. But there is clearly a turnout of women that is evidenced by the election we had on March the 4th.
Ladies, we have got, you know, I put the bumper sticker on my car. If the 99% vote, the 1% won't matter.
I told everybody last year, if you wanted to run for office in 2014 and you're a man, you might start thinking about a sex change.
Yeah. Ooh, Oh.
It's the year of the women.
That could be fun, right, Rita?
It's the year of the women in 2014. Come to the International Women's Day celebration today at 1:30.
Yeah.
1408 North Washington in East Dallas. It's free. I know that something says you have to register, but you don't have to register.
Just come on down.
Come down there and join in the celebration of women and hear Becky Moeller.
Yes. And there's going to be booths. I think there's tables set up for different organizations. I know CLUE, which is the Labor Union Women.
Coalition
of Labor Union Women. I don't know why I have so much trouble with that. APRI, the A. Philip Randolph Institute, their convention, state convention, is the end of the month in Houston. I'll be attending that. That's right. That's a good one.
And the Texas Alliance for Retired Americans is going to have a table at the women's thing because so many retirees are women. Women outlive men, you know.
Yes, we do.
And because of that, the seniors are more dependent on women than other organizations.
Yeah. This is going to be a great afternoon. 1:30 to 4:30. Hey, it's going to be raining, so come on in.
There's so much history being made. The attempt to take over the Dallas public schools by the billionaire in Houston is a historical event. He's hoping to make this a model for ruining the public school system throughout the United States.
And let's just remember, he has a handful of secret donors. I cannot express that enough. These guys don't even have the guts to come out and say who they are.
They claim they're volunteers. The Morning News said all these volunteers went out to take a petition like they didn't pay.
They paid every single one of those people that were out there with petitions. They were paying them $10 an hour. I got the email.
So you got the email on that?
I got the email that they were hiring people $10 an hour.
Yeah, and in the Morning News ran that they were all volunteers.
Oh, my aching.
The volunteers were out getting petitions. That was an outright lie, and there's a whole bunch of outright lies that need to be discussed. We'll keep discussing them here on KNON
next week,
and look forward to seeing you then.
Thanks. Have a great week.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.